Hello everyone and welcome to this special YouTube live trading stream where I wanna trade altcoins if we have some opportunities, but I'm also gonna have a look at some long-term opportunities in the altcoin market and also BTC if you want. So this is what I do every single Thursday on the website, but we thought to also bring it to the public today to see what we do here each and every week, as we had some very interesting moves on BTC, Ethereum, across altcoins actually. So what I want you to do is first give me a sound confirmation. Keep in mind that nothing I do here is deemed as financial advice. That's all for educational purposes only. I also can play music as it's on YouTube. But besides that, if you want me to look at any specific altcoins, please head over to my X account, and under this last post right here, this is what I posted 5 hours ago. If you click on that one here, you can comment some altcoins you want me to look at below here. So this is where I have everything in one place, and I already saw quite a few comments coming through, so please keep them coming, because I will have a look at this right here. I also have a couple of Bybit accounts loaded up, so I do want to look at scalp day trading opportunities if we have any. But I'm also, for this account right here, I'm just checking if we even have some that I can buy on spot here in the Bybit EU market here. So I have a couple of funds in this one, and we can check that one out. See if we can use Bybit EU at some point. Yeah, so let's see. Looks like the sound is good, so that is perfect. Let's see. And also, yeah, what should I look at first? BTC, ETH, or Solana? Let me know. Before we get all the legal things out of the way. So let me have a quick look at the chat. We have Pablo here, German trader, SEC trades. We have Elliot, Pablo, Z. Nice one. Bangkok GmbH. Pablo, Chris. Yeah, good to see some familiar names. Uros, Elliot, X2, YFL, Idachi. Nice one. Yeah, good. Looks like the sound is working all right. But just to keep the comments rather clean here, comment under this post, and I can see a couple coming through now, so that's great. All right, let's see. Looks like I should start with BTC, so why don't we do that? Let's have a quick look at BTC first. And as a disclaimer, Daniel has just finished his Daniel stream. It's a Daniel stream, but it is the champion stream that he's just done. So let's quickly review the the last public update I done, or the last trade I gave on BTC. Was the long trade at 108,000. So that ended up being an amazing trade, obviously. I am still in this trade. I'm also keeping that open, but yeah, let's see if there's something to update here. As we are trading at all-time highs, I do want to update my levels here. I don't even know if I have done the monthlies yet. So this weekly is a daily and a monthly, so that's going to be an interesting level, although I don't think it's going to give a nice reaction again. Let's see, we do have a new weekly. Last week we had an amazing impulsive weekly, and yeah, here I just have to give obviously a massive shout out to Daniel, who was calling every single low here, trading everything alongside with the champions. That was just legendary to see how he managed to trade every single low here. But that's what we do, right? So that's nice. Let's see, we also have a new daily. I also like to look at the NPOCs always, so let me do that here as well. In case you're not familiar with NPOCs, this is yeah, based off the volume profiles on a dedicated trading software like Atas, where I'm actually still in a trade right here. It's up $1,587. So it was a nice day today. But let's stick with crypto here. So let's see BTC. I do prefer to look at the BTC USD on Bybit. Always some questions because the USDT has more volume. I prefer to look at this one though. Okay, that was a super impulsive week, leaving us with a weekly NPOC at 122,910. I'm gonna mark these out in the background. Although this is super high up in the chart, but since I also want to look at some 910 at some scalping opportunities, it's good to mark these out, although we would, in terms of the swing trades, not necessarily say this is a good level. Then we have 117,000 being the, that's actually interesting, that's the previous week a value area low. So 117, I'm going to keep it clean, just say 117,000. This is the previous week a value area low. Let's see if there's some new monthly MPOCs. No. And let's check it on the daily profile. I do want to refresh this real quick, or let me see. Now this could be all right. It could work. So do you have 112.90? Sorry, 122.90. I'm gonna mark it out here. I'm gonna take you over to this again. We have 119.215. 117, 120. That's better. Was it again? 120. That's a good level right here for a day trade. So let's do the analysis I would always do, and that is volume ranges next. Yeah, as I already felt, this 117 is going to be an interesting level because if you know how I'm trading, there's always three things I look at every single time. Okay, this is obviously context, and on BTC we can very easily identify that the context of BTC is that we are in a super strong uptrend. We can check the market structure real quick with a low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and another higher high. So market structure, without a doubt, super bullish, right? So that is number one. Number two is to see if we have some levels that do look like there's quite some liquidity. This could be a previous supply zone, could be previous highs or lows. Here I can see that on this fixed range point of control, we do have a nice supply zone. So this is supply once, twice, three times. We can look at it as supply or a resistance into support flip, however you want to call it. I like to look at this as a supply zone. That could be flipped into demand right here, at least for a day trade. That looks interesting. We can see, considering the volume starting on the 10th of July. So if we actually measure this, this is the last, we can just say 90 days of price action. The most amount of volume was transacted at around 117,747. So that is something we have to take into consideration and see. Previous supply, massive uptrend. Is it likely that we get a big pullback? Maybe, we have to see. But this, for a first day trading opportunity, does look interesting to me. So let's see, there's even an anchored VWAP that is going to be around this level. This is now looking at more of the day trades. I'm always looking at the higher time frame first and then flipping to lower time frames. So let's see, that looks interesting. It's the 50% of this impulse that we had. Okay, let's go to a 4-hour time frame. I must say I was a little bit lucky that that one didn't hit my stop loss, but fortunately I longed the absolute low of the move and my stop loss was at break even. So makes sense to follow along and get the good entries here. Let's see, this is the overall low here. I expect this anchored view up to move up into this zone next. So some things we have to take into consideration here are we looking for a swing trade, day trade, or a scalp trade? In terms of a swing trade, I would always say this is not at the best price location for me to look at a swing trade at around 117,000. We can always use the Fibonacci tool, super simple, from the low to the high, and see if it is at the 50%, I don't consider it a swing trade. It has to be at least the 618, 66, or the 75, okay? In that range, I could say maybe this is even going to be a swing trade. Since that is the 50%, this is only classed as a day trading opportunity for me. In the end, it doesn't matter, but this is very important to note here. I do think for a day trade, this has some really good opportunities, but let me explain why this can't really be a swing trade. Because if we see the drop here into that level, this could easily do a nice bounce here, but flip this value area high into resistance and do the full value rotation. I don't know at this time if this is going to play out or if that is going to be the scenario, but at this moment in time, I have to prepare for a scenario like this and thus say that could be a nice day trade, but I can't really plan this as a swing trade at the moment. But anyway, if we hit that level, I am very interested in taking a nice day trade here. A day trade would be based off my personal overall favorite entry strategy, which is the 3 candle. Our members know this. I'm going to keep it for the members, but this is exactly how I would trade this right here, and that would be a 30-minute 3 candle entry. This would be the first target, and then we can see maybe I can stay in this trade, but I'm clearly going to mark this out as a day trade long. Okay. So that's BTC on the day trades. On the swing trades, yeah, I can see this down here, but I must say, if we lose this NPOC and the previous week value area low, I'm going to be a little bit more conservative on BTC. I do see the weekly as obviously a strong level. I can look at another trade here. I'm just at the moment not as convinced that this level is going to hold again right here. Okay, so for now, I don't really plan a swing trade here. I am already in a swing trade. I can look for a day trade or even scalp trades, which I will look at next. So let's see this overall, since this low right here on the 26th of September, super strong move to the upside, no significant pullback. So if anyone missed the longs at the lows, I think pretty difficult to even get into trades on BTC, but that's why you have to pay attention, so you don't miss these trades, which we certainly don't. Let's see this local price action. I do need to mark out the previous all-time high real quick. Was this right here? Yeah, super likely that we're gonna break a new all-time high super soon, actually. So let's see if there are any opportunities to get into trades here. Something I want to bring to your attention here locally as well is that was actually on Sunday. So yesterday we had a good trading opportunity here, which was, again, what I've done on the higher time frames. I do exactly the same on the lower time frames. We had a supply zone break, retest, supply into demand is a good level. We've seen the same this morning. So technically, if I was to look for a scalp trade, I could do the same here. Though this has been tested a couple of minutes ago already, so no longer the best. But this looks super strong, and I have to expect this high to be taken into 116,000. I'm going to place an alert here to see VWAP. Also keeping an eye on the VWAP in case we front run the all-time high, but it looks like we are headed there now. So can check the order flow here as well to see. Oh, that's interesting though, that we have the point of control line up here. So at this time, I can only place some alerts in case we front run the all-time high on the first attempt, and say 124 is scalp trading territory. Would never look at a swing trade here, obviously, or even a day trade. But for a scalp trade, I'm at least going to place an alert here and see if there's going to be a good reaction. So let's see. Yeah, that's the only scalp trade I could see here. Let me see the order flow here for a second. We do have bullish divergence. That's also good, I would say. It's also the previous day EQ, so if we get a test of the VWAP, that wouldn't be too bad actually. I do want to see some standout positions here. So that was 22 million shorts actually, and we had 10 million longs, 11 million shorts. So there is a couple of people to stop out. So I would say super high probability to make a new all-time high sooner or later. So yeah, I'm looking at the VWAP as yeah, more of a scalp trade. Let me see if there's any sensible place to anchor an anchored VWAP. No, not really. Yeah, but this is the only scalp I could see. Or else a scenario that I could look at, I don't think it's going to be hit during the stream, would be if we take the liquidity, reclaim this. I could also see a scenario like this, but that's going to be the first level I'm looking at. So yeah, that is nice. Let's see Ethereum next, as I will be alerted if we hit the VWAP or the all-time high. On Ethereum, also very interesting price action. So the level that I gave on the public streams a long time ago were actually 3,885. So ever since 85 was hit, we had an increase of 20%. And let me show you again what the reason behind this was. Context. Clean uptrend, higher highs, higher lows. I always look at areas of high liquidity. This can be previous lows or it can be a previous supply zone. In this instance, we had a previous supply zone, supply once, twice, 3, 4 times, broken, retest higher. So super clean level. What about price location? So now if you listen, if you listened closely, for me to be interested in a swing trade, it has to be below the 7.5, somewhere along the 618, 66, or 7.5. So let's have a look here. We can see perfect criteria met, context lining up, liquidity lining up, confluence lining up. This is a swing trade, easily identified. I would say that was a brilliant, lovely, lovely long trade. Yeah, that was perfect in my opinion. And we can see how this was, or how this gave a beautiful reaction. As always, also gave it here, confirmed it. Can I see the date actually? 29th of September, long on Ethereum. Let me see. This right here was the plan that I shared. Long 3,885. Wanted to see that level hit, even an anchored VWAP, then it is just absolute perfection. Then we can see nice bounce here. And in my channel, I confirmed it. I said I've just taken this long on ETH at the time, gave my stop loss. I was still in the negative -2%. So yeah, that's how we do it. And that is Ethereum. in terms of the context. So where are we here? See if there's some, where's the comments? Okay, 42 comments. So there's quite a few things to look at, although I want to check this first. Yeah, for the ones following along in my stock market updates, I do keep it crypto focused, but this is the long trade that I gave on ES this morning. I called every single low here, by the way, this low, this one low, and that low. I am now, since we are at the previous week value area high and daily value area high, this is a day trade, but I am trailing my stop loss up to here. So what I'm going to do if we drop is secure $1,400 on this move to the upside. Okay, just to manage that trade in between real quick. I have taken one short trade here as a hedge trade, by the way. This one was stopped out on my end. So I wanted to take this as a hedge trade. I considered 4,500 a super big level of resistance. I wanted to protect myself here, kept the long open, and obviously this one was stopped out. So yeah, I'm now going to have a look at my next levels of interest. We might be headed for a new all-time high here, because one of the short trades that I gave a while ago, let me see, not this one, that was on a live trading stream that we didn't take, but I gave the 4,700 as my short trade. So I took this short trade into this long trade and now higher. So let's see what we have in terms of predefined high time frame levels. I'm gonna delete this now. This daily is now a weekly. We do have one weekly above at 4,777. Daily. So this weekly is also a daily on Ethereum. The only thing that is unlikely for Ethereum is that we get those big pullbacks. That just doesn't happen at the moment. We can see ever since the lows at 1,500, oh, this is just higher and higher without significant pullbacks. That was the best one, I would say. Into 3,885 was the easiest to get into, in my opinion. So let me check some MPOCs here for Ethereum. On Ethereum, this actually looks accurate on tick 150. So we have the previous week value area low 4,216. 4,216. I'm gonna mark this one out. Where is BTC? Oh, let's see if we get a pullback. And also let me know in the chat, what do you think? Are we going to make a new all-time high on BTC today? Or is it going to take longer than that? And so what about monthlies? We'll hit, can see a significant increase in open interest here. Some shorts on Ethereum, 25 million. So that is worth a look here on the daily profile. Tick 40 for the daily profile. Wow, look at this actually. 8 million, 8 million, 8 million shorts. So someone trying to build a short trade here likely gonna get squeezed. That led to a nice bullish divergence on Ethereum. That is too high up, 4,000. That one is already marked out on my end. Let's see, so these orders mainly entered in this area, so my best case is to stop them out. First, I'm looking at the higher time frames again. I do consider the previous week value area low a nice place. I wouldn't really compound my trade. Instead, what I would do is this. Say we do get a drop on Ethereum. I would look for this zone to be hit. Okay, so around 4,200. Might not be that deep. Okay, 4,200 hit. Need to see a good reaction. Market structure change on the 30-minute time frame. If that is the case, I'm entering my trade here with a local invalidation and see how long I can take that or where I can take this trade into. So this is again day trade on no, day trade long. That looks super interesting here. Like this area, previous supply, value area low, previous week value area low, uptrend anchored VWAP, point of control. So this box right here is my day trading target for Ethereum. Then I'm waiting for an intraday market structure change on the 30-minute time frame to enter this trade. Now I'm going to have a look at some scalps that we might get during the stream. Let's check BTC, the 15. Although we had all of these shorts here, the point of control is at 4,480. This would be the scalping level on Ethereum. Let's see. I'm gonna place an alert here as well. Yeah, I do agree to Flacco here. All these shorts that we see open, yeah, could lead to a nice squeeze to the upside, I must agree. Is the same happening on BTC here locally? Let's find out. Do have 2.4, yeah, just 5 million shorts in this local price action. So I would say those need to be squeezed. Let's see this, if that was also shorts down here. Some people trying to short the failed auction of all-time highs on BTC. We have seen that happen before, but yeah, I just don't think it's going to happen again. Okay, what about this trade? Gonna look more. And then I'm gonna have a look at some of your requests. So let's see, I'm gonna see Eigen, Aster. This one was very, I don't know, but many people talked about this. So why don't we check this real quick to see, because I know that one had some good volatility on the lower time frames. So let's just see. Let's just see Aster. So this here on ADA, Cardano, very nice trade that we had into my box. But let's see Aster, it must be here somewhere. And keep your requests coming. I will check those. Yeah, I remember looking at Aster during a, yeah, fair enough, during an altcoin stream. What can we say? The high was given on this altcoin stream for a 25% drop. The long trade was given for a 40% bounce. So altcoin stream, very profitable. Let's see though if we have some more opportunities. That was a mini range point of control here, by the way. And I am, so if you pay close attention, honestly, I think it's not very difficult to see how I'm trading. It's keeping it simple, impulse to the upside, small retracement impulse. Then we can see into previous supply on an uptrend, confluence, entry confirmation, and then take the trade. Let's see. Monthly, weekly, all super bullish. Do we have a daily above? That's not a daily yet. This is no daily. There is a daily down here. Let's see if we have some NPOCs on this one. If anyone is wondering, this right here is Atas trading software, by the way. I can recommend this. Let's see. There we go. Do we have on the local time frames? We had this downtrend that was broken, market structure taken, low, doesn't look perfect. Let me mark this one at 1424. 1424. Yes, that's an interesting place. Okay, but locally we are in a uptrend, I would say. This is the previous day value area high, previous day EQ. Okay, that's all I need. And this point of control. So my context reading on that one is low, taking the highs and holding here. This is the higher low. So now every intraday pullbacks, such as into this zone, could be deemed as a intraday long trade, no financial advice. Obviously, always checking. So this is something that is super important, by the way. If I make a plan, that is the foundation of every single trade I'm taking. I'm never taking a trade without having a plan. That should be very obvious. But just that I'm doing a plan doesn't mean that I necessarily take the trade unless my entry criteria is given, which is my 3-candle entry strategy, which you can find on the website. Yeah, but that's easy. For a scalp trade, I am looking at the CC down here for Aster for an intraday trade into the daily. Gonna place an alert, and then we still have a higher time frame level, which is gonna be this down here, but I'm gonna stick with those intraday opportunities on that one. Still far away though, 8%. BTC not moving, Ethereum. Let's see, maybe I need to find one of these altcoins that moves rather quick. Let's check another one. For the 3-candle strategy, you can find that one on the website. Solana, we really, killed that one. ADA, Link. Link is a good one. Yeah, let's do Link. So this was my altcoin stream from last week, I think. Okay, so I was looking for the short at around the monthly, wanted to take it into the long at this daily level. However, super annoying, I was front ran here. The short trade hit my target, which is perfect, but the long trade was missed. So that's slightly annoying, but that doesn't really matter. Can still look for a nice trade, and I must say I'm even interested in this level again. So this monthly was hit, so I'm going to delete this. But if there's a nice bearish reaction here, I could still see short potential if we do a nice 4-hour SFP. See, the ES trade is still running. I need to manage this real quick. So now I am looking 1,600. Good, good, good. Now back to Link. Still a nice level up here with this downtrend anchored VWAP. But 4-hour SFP would be my entry trigger here. Would start as this being my first target, and then I'm going to see how long I can keep it open for. Okay, but this is, I'm going to call it SFP short. Only if we see the SFP, I'm taking a short trade here. Very simple. Let's see. Weekly is hit. No new dailies actually here. So on that one, I do need NPOCs to help me find a good level. I am invested in Link, so I have a spot position open. And whenever that is the case, I am very interested in hedging my spot, because this was also a long trade that was given on the Altcoin stream. And with that background, I need to be aware of key resistances to hedge myself against unrealized loss or unrealized profits that could be diminished. Zero too high. No nice weekly levels here. That's nice to see how this is running. Oh, tick 20. No, I need to go down to tick 10 even. And we can see, I mean, unfinished high structure is super likely to take out those highs. But an SFP is not very difficult of a trade here, I think, if there is an SFP. Oh, I also see the daily point of control and the VWAP as, oh, I would love to see a pullback, to be honest with you, before taking those highs. So one of the best trades actually I can see here would be Link, because on Link 20, we just look at the VWAP here of the day, 22 zone. Let's say we front run the highs again. We see a pullback into that level. This would be a very interesting long trade for me. That would be very, very nice. Because I do like the low, and I must say the next target has to be those highs. So on an intraday trade down here, I'm interested in that. Have to see where the low is going to be put in. So I would trade this based off my strategy again. Yeah, very nice level. It's also, let's do this quickly. The previous day EQ is also right at this level. Let's see. Previous day EQ. Okay, nice place. We might not get it, but if we do, that is looking really nice. So this is Link covered as well. Then we have BTC still sitting up here. Why don't we check the order flow for a second? I can see 2 million shorts. Let's do that up here. Still bullish divergence. Nothing new here. No new information. Ethereum still up here. Solana. XRP not really interesting. Okay, why don't we check out the next one? We had Pepe, Link, Popcat. What was the most recent one? Let me refresh this. The last comment that we had, this was 50 minutes ago. 39. Oh yeah, that one we've done both, so. Ethereum we also covered. Solana, there's nothing new on my end. ADA, I covered the swing long that I gave for the champions. Link we had. Eigen, Pengu. Let's see. Can look at this, yeah. Pengu also at one of the level or activated one of the levels that I gave. And this tends to have some volatility. So let's check this one out. What I wanted to see at the time was the key level hit, and then I wanted to see either an SFP or a reclaim of the range low. We had both, so that was perfect. And with that, this long trade was activated, the target was hit, so now runners can be kept open. Yep, that is a nice basis for this one. So let's see, I can see ES and NQ just flying today, still in that trade. This point, I'm locking 2,000 on a trailed stop loss. But let's do some analysis here. What was the long that we had? This was the SFP level. And then this key level. So, oh, APT is also a good one I might look at. Technically, This is also why there was the need to take profit on this trade. As we can see, price is forming lower highs at the moment. So it doesn't make sense to be too bullish on that one. Yeah, but the way I see this here is it just offers the easiest day trade one could get, in my opinion. Because say, for example, we take out this low into the weekly, into the previous supply, because once again, it's always the same theory, just applied on different time frames. But we see those highs are broken, supply zone down here, impulse above. If we retest the supply zone, that could be an interesting place. What I love about these trades specifically is if we see a pullback, 30-minute SFP of that level, the invalidation is super, super tight, because my theory of SFPs is if we do an SFP into a predefined level, there's no need to retest that level again. That allows me to use a very local invalidation, still use the same target, and you can see that would be a 6-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So for me, that sounds good. See Bitcoin, Ethereum, nothing. But yeah, that would be the day trade here. And I would do the exact same for a short trade up here, to be honest with you. It's just here I would use a higher time frame. If that even manages to run a little bit further, yeah, then I would try to hedge my trade here on a 4-hour SFP in the opposite direction into the weekly, as I have a super easy reference point, SFP this high, and yeah, then I'm taking a short trade here. This is the way I like to trade. If I have easy entries with very big R&R potential, then I'm taking those trades if I have good confluence. So that's what I'm looking at here. Let's check this stock real quick. Today 1% up. I can check BNB also. Oh, APT looks interesting. Look, whenever, so we obviously have hundreds of altcoins we can look at. I always scan these altcoins just very briefly to see if it even makes sense to spend some more time on these altcoins. And this one does look interesting. We've just seen a nice SFP here. We retested this. So for the ones that know, this could be the third touch setup, Daniel's setup, right? So that does look interesting. And I'm gonna hide a couple of things here. And what we've done also is now broken this trend line. So we have seen super bearish price action here with lower lows and lower highs. Okay, these lower highs are now broken. We've taken the previous highs. I can see there is supply lining up down here. So APT, definitely worth an in-depth analysis here. So let's see, there's a monthly. What is that? Up 22%. This monthly is also a weekly. I don't think, though, if it's as bullish as this might be, you shouldn't test that level again. But anyway, in terms of analysis, I have to mark it out. There's a close daily here. prefer to look at this one for swing trading potential, to be honest. So let's go and check out some NPOC, still in this trade, by the way. And if anyone is wondering, this is ES, gave that setup this morning. I can't pull up Discord now, but what I said, let me see. Long's first area of interest is the previous day value area low retest. And we can see previous day value area low was the low to the tick. And even if anyone just took this trade on this trade, by the way, the risk was $120. I am up 2,300. So this is a 20-to-1 risk to reward ratio on this trade. Just to show you the power of these assets. Now back to, what was it again? What am I checking? I honestly have to look. APT. APT USDT. I'm keeping an eye on BTC. My plan is laid out, but nothing has changed really. Or did something change? Nope. We are about to go into an hourly close here. APT, I need to go down to tick 20. Then we have the NPOC at 426. Open to 6. Ooh, there's massive confluence down there, but it's so far away from current price action. How do you determine your exit on the ES trade? I am just trailing my stop loss. See on the monthly, that's even a monthly NPOC. See APT on this. APT USDT futures. So I'm gonna rename this to a monthly NPOC. We might have just found the best swing trading potential long term on APT, because I think that looks fantastic. And yeah, make sure to hit the like button as well, because for us that is just feedback. So we can see if we shall do these more often, or if you like it, enjoy these streams. 441. So let us know. .41. I think this is all the NPCs that I need really. It's 487. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. That's a great question. So before I look at this, Elliot Banks, how do you decide whether to take a 4-hour SFP or a 30-minute? This depends on the time frame or the trading idea that I have. Is it a intraday trade? This would be the 30-minute SFP. Or is it a potential swing trade that has medium time frame to high time frame potential? Then it's always the 4-hour SFP minimum. Could even be a daily. Here we can see even a daily, all good. So you know what my idea here is even? So just basing it off of the first large sign of strength. I need to spend some time on this actually. So let's see, when have we seen this the last time? I'm just comparing that. No, that looks very similar, isn't it? You can still see that we had this downtrend here, massive downtrend, super weak, touch, 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 broken, and we had the first big rise. And the low here was also off of the back of an SFP, so that is interesting. Let's analyze this price action here. This one likes to respect those trend lines, it seems like. Also a super bearish trend line. Then it was broken and we had a nice increase in price. So that is happening for the first time here, actually. By the way, I actually hate trend lines, but on this one it looks good. That is too steep. I would never look at a trend line like this. But yeah, I must say, interesting find, APT. I would even consider laddering into a trade on APT. This is no financial advice, as you know. This is just what I am thinking. Yeah. I am now out of my ES trade, by the way. So that is perfect. That was the brilliant trade. And now out of that one, what a lovely trade that was. So let's see this one. I'm interested in laddering into a trade, going with a scenario that we might see a bump and run pattern, whatever, or just breaking the trend line for potential upside moves. So here I would go with entry number 1, point of control 2, and number 3. So this could also be a classic CCW. Just slightly higher. My first one would be around that MPOC here. And then the rest is the CCW. So that would leave me with an average entry down here. My invalidation would be this, so 15% stop loss. That simply means I use lower position size. And the target for that one would at least be the weekly, potentially even more. I have no idea about this fundamentally, but let's work out a decent target. First target has to be here, 1000%. Has to be the previous range value area low. Then the next target, point of control. And then I'm just going to be very optimistic on that one and say this is the overall target. Then we could still play this downtrend. So this should be another one, but yeah, that is my probably even spot interest here on APT. So thanks for the person who recommended that one. Nice one. Gonna give myself a comment here because I must say I like it. Why APT spot? Nice one. Let's have a look at the next one. Please keep them coming. They are nice. These setups are perfect. But still, we have no guarantee that this trade is going to play out, obviously. In this one, since I found it on a live stream, just to give you a gift. No, you should always follow your own plans, obviously. But I'm going to post this on my X if I take this trade or this investment. I'm going to post that publicly. Before I look at the chat, let's actually see if there's something moving a lot. We have this one. Not interesting. 13% here. We already formed a plan. 12%, what is this? Eigen. Yeah, I think we had a setup on this a while back, but there's no good trade to be had here in my opinion. 5%, the rest is not as crazy. Plume. What is Plume? And by the way, we also trade stocks, but I said that I'm buying some of this stock right here. It's up 11% from this last buy. I don't see anything that really stands out here, so let's do SPX. SPX. Ah, that is why everyone is mentioning SPX. That's at my entry. Gonna update this one as that was given quite a while ago. And I can see the CC is no longer accurate. So the CC is slightly below, but still a nice level. We have a monthly, we have a previous reference point, previous range value area. No, this is a range value area high and a previous range value area low. Oof, massive resistance here. Let's see what BTC is doing. See if we can move into here. Just thinking about the context and everything here. Super strong move up. High is okay. So in terms of a 4-hour SFP, this trade is already valid. This would give a super easy entry. I do have to, and this is what I mentioned previously. So yes, I can always have my predefined levels, such as this one. I do think it is amazing resistance here. Very, very nice resistance. However, it doesn't make any sense for me to just take a short trade just because it's a predefined level. I have to realize super strong move to the upside. BTC is strong, Ethereum is strong, Solana, XRP, wherever you look in terms of altcoins, it looks rather strong. So this one I would still be interested in terms of a short trade, but only if I see a nice weakness. And that would be take out this, retest the demand zone, and then I am getting into the short trade a little bit later, which is going to be down here, this invalidation. So lose the demand, retest the demand and flip it into supply. This would also equal confirm market structure. If we do this, then I'm taking the trade, but I'm already taking it up here. See BTC orders. Let's see, decrease in open interest. So from this zone of interest into all-time high, it would be 1.5% move. So yeah, that's still the level I would say. Nothing has changed. To 124. This is the previous day EQ. This is a scalp trade. Let's stay here for a second to see if we can get a drop. So that's that. Let me see. Hype. Hype is requested. Yeah, I can check hype. Hype on the day, very small move. So we are more or less at the daily open. Nah, hype doesn't look interesting to me. Can already see that here. No good trades to be had. Ethereum. Let's see Ethereum. Not really worth a short trade into this area for the long, no. So we have to continue and see if there's one that's offering a trade now. Do you know any altcoins that have super, or some of you are already very experienced traders, so do you have any altcoin you are looking at the moment where you know it could be near an entry from your perspective? And then I could see mine. Let's see ENA. ENA is also not at my entry. I know there's not going to be a great opportunity in between, I assume. Unless, let me check this. ENA. Nope. Casta I already shared. Let's see LTC. That might be one. Is this LTC? Yes. Okay, on LTC we had a lovely bounce here. Let's update. Fresh weekly. Not gonna be easy to get in on this one. The weekly would be nice, but it's far away. Yeah, I'm gonna place an alert for the weekly, but might be too far away. And this one's also not what we're gonna get now. But let's see MPUCs for ENA. No LTC. On the daily. TCSDT. PAM GRT. See, SUI might be a good one as well. So I do need to keep volume into consideration as well. I always like to look at the ones that do have substantial volume, and SUI I know has some good volume. But we already found a couple of good ones. Must say this APT really is my favorite. So LTC, lower time frame. In a consolidation range. Yeah, have to look at the lower one, 107.64. 107.64. Oh, that would be a level. Because again, it's very consistent what we look at here. You should notice, but lows okay, highs taken, uptrend, previous supply, impulsive break. If we retest this, I'm looking for a long trade. So, but I don't see this as a good intraday opportunity. And one of the easiest red flags, so to speak, to spot for, yeah, to realize, does it have some low time frame opportunities, yes or no, is this right here. If we are in a triangle formation like this, just contracting price action, prices making lower highs and higher lows, then I'm saying no, thank you, no intraday opportunities on this one. What is XPL? Doesn't look nice. Mantle. What is the ticker of that one? This AR. Yeah, AR. Let's see AR. I remember one of my first altcoin streams. We had an amazing trade on AR that done thousands of %. Nope, I don't like AR because we are maintaining this downtrend here. Looks too weak for me to be interested. MNT, let's see this. Oh, let's check this. Okay. Yeah, that looks a little bit silly to chase the move here. It was a lovely low. Yeah, I can't chase a trade here since we had this massive move to the upside, but I must say any pullbacks into around 1.8 can be considered a good long since the low looks good. We've seen this impulsive break. So yeah, I'm placing an alert at around the daily. But this would only be a day trade since that is so impulsive and I don't really want to look at swing trades here. Let's hide this. So that would be the daily for an area of interest. I'll place an alert. Circle. Let's see this real quick because we also want to look at stocks. AMD had a massive run to the upside. This is a trade that I gave to the champion members a couple of months back in April. Ever since entry, 150. So let's see Circle real quick before we check the rest. Circle 786. Good. Interesting area. Let us know or let me know in the chat. Is anyone interested in stocks or crypto only? Not that I'm doing it in this stream, I mean in general. Thank you for letting me know about a circle. My camera died. Circle. Need to check this real quick before I wait for your comments, or while I wait for them. SPX. Stocks are cool. Stocks, futures, nice. Yeah, we are also trading futures. Nice market structure change here. Yes, I do consider a nice investment, but we would need a pullback. Is there... Stocks are interesting. Okay, nice. Let me see. Circle should be easily available, right? Circle. Internet group. Okay, nice one. I just hope that it does a pullback. What's the risk on that one? Okay, nice one. Yeah, we can, I mean, if you are interested, we can have a look at stocks as well, but that would be for another stream. Okay, so here I like to stick with crypto. But whenever we get the feedback, you let us know what you want. We can integrate everything, always open for feedback. So, see, XRP, I do have my daily plan, which I gave last week, and I'm going to do on Thursday in my Altcoin weekly update. But I do want to check one more here. See, BTC might take another while, so 0.7%. Let's see DOT, but I think DOT is pretty dead, isn't it? Yeah, just we had this trading idea a while ago, and that did play out. So it was just the other way around. We were looking for longs at the lows, shorts at the highs. We've seen both. So both were really the best trades, 50% bounce, then 40% drop. But now we are still stuck in this range, higher lows, lower highs. So no, I can't view this as a good asset to look at. So why don't we check INJ? Ooh, wow. What a level that was down here. On this consolidation range, I think with this, that was a perfect long trade if anyone took this. INJ, I'm gonna check out. Wow, what a long trade this was. Always love that. I would assume it's also the previous range point of control. Let's just see. It's the value area low even, so it can't get better than that. And we reclaimed this. Oof, nice. Very nice. Let's see if that has opportunities. BTC, just taking so long. So we do have a monthly below. And the weekly is sitting right there as well. So I don't need to mark that out really, but there's another weekly here. There's a weekly there, but that's too close to price. Gonna stick with those two and see if there's some nice confluence around it. Here I do want to check MPOCs. 12 to 6. 10, 5, 4. Ten, 5, 6 is a monthly MPOC. Ooh. That is massive confluence down here. MPC. 6. There's a lot that has changed when I saw where we bounced off of and the reaction that we had. So let's follow the market structure on this one. That's the low. Higher high, higher low, higher high. Even if we drop into here, this would still be intact market structure. And wow, is that a nice level as well? Oof, the value area low as well. Yep, swing area of interest. INJ, very, very nice level down here as well. For the one Killzil Brito, thank you for mentioning INJ. I must say I like this a lot. That looks very nice. Very beautiful. But yeah, I would say it takes too long on BTC to hit that level. I'm gonna see if I still manage to get that. I would wrap it up here as we have already looked at quite a few. Make sure to hit the like button. This is what we do every single week in case you are interested. And by the way, on Wednesday, there's going to be a altcoin swing trading stream with Daniel on the website. That's for the champion members. And I'm just going to speak about myself, but I don't want to miss that one. So yeah, you know where to find it. We do live trading every single day. We share all the setups, we share the entries here, and there is obviously not a signals group. We want to teach you how to find these entries yourself, but it is just extremely powerful to follow the plans, follow the streams, and yeah, once again, what we've done today, or what I have done the last couple of days really, was I gave that trade on ES on one contract that is $1,600. I gave this entry that is 1,900. Gave this morning that is 1,200 on one single contract, and that is always typical, or for these setups that I shared here, this is about a 20 to 1 risk to reward ratio on all of those trades. So trading, extremely powerful. It takes time to master trading. It is possible for each and every one of you. So yeah, thank you for being here, for showing the dedication to try and learn. And yeah, I truly believe every one of you can make it. It is just the best game, profession, whatever you want to call it in the world, if you ask me. So I hope you enjoyed. See you all in the next streams. Hit the like button. No financial advice as always. And bye bye.